Hello and welcome to Iridium Rock and Metal Reviews. I hope everyone's doing all right. So today I'm going to carry on with ranking the songs from the years. So we're up to 1998 and it hasn't been particularly good, the late 90s. For me, for some people it would be brilliant, but not for me. So I've only got 5. Yeah, I know. I only got 5 and one or two of them, you know, just about made it as well. You know, I couldn't really sit here with 3. So, but, you know, they are all decent songs, but some really brilliant songs, you know, the top ones as well. So, obviously, without further ado, 1998, number 5 to number 1. Number 5 being my least favourite of my top songs. So, my number 5 is System of a Down and Spiders. So, this is the debut album, System of a Down. I've had to include this, and this goes for my number 4 as well, because at the time, you know, it was a big thing for this band. Were a big thing for me. Although now I don't really listen to them much, but I don't dislike them. I think they're still a good band, and they've done some brilliant songs. So for me, like, you know, an album of theirs may have, out of 12 tracks, it'll have 5 really, really good songs, and the rest I can, you know, I can leave. I don't have to, I'm not really bothered about. But Spiders is probably the most sort of mellowest, sort of melodic song on their debut album. And it's my number 5. So, new metal band, as you know. But and I think new metal has really had the least staying power for me. Out of all the genres across, obviously the 80s and the melodic rock and metal, is the most one that stayed with me. But out of all the genres and grunge and new metal and all that, and I think new metal is the one that stayed with me the least. So that must say something, I don't know. So that's my number 5. My number 4, another new metal band, if you want to categorise them as a new metal band, Korn. And I chose It's On by Follow the Leader album. So I fell in love with this album when it came out. And I still probably think it's there. For me, it's my favourite album of Korn. I know that it was a definite change in direction, and probably a direction that a lot of fans wouldn't have liked. They mellowed out a lot. They introduced quite a bit of rap into their stuff. But it was, I think, their biggest album to date, I believe. And you can see why. It had a lot of hip-hop influences, and this was a huge album. It propelled them into fucking mega star status. You know, they were huge on this album. But they did mix it up on the album. I think that's what I loved about it. It was some of it was as heavy as their other albums, and then some of it wasn't. It was, you know, it was really mixed up. I really liked it, and It's On is a great. It's the start of the song album. It's the first song on the album. It fucking hits you so hard. I love It's On. I think it's a great song. That's my number 4. So number 3, Primal Fear, Battalions of Hate, off of their debut album, Primal Fear. I just want to say before I carry on with this, I've got to make an apology to Ralph Sheepers. So he called me out on my Primal Fear review of their album, their new album, and he said I stated that he auditioned for Judas Priest, and I don't think he liked it much. So he messaged me on YouTube and told me it's not true, and he's told lots of people that, and why don't they fucking listen, basically. Well, I wanted to argue back with him, but I didn't. One, because out of the horse's mouth, what he says goes, so that's it, you know. If he says it's true, it's true. And number 2, he's fucking about 7 foot tall. He's got arms the size of my fucking legs. And yeah, I was a bit scared. So, sorry, Ralph, if you're listening. I apologise. Fuck Wiki. That's where I got that information from. And I know you shouldn't always trust Wiki, but most of the time it's true. Fuck Wiki and all the other types of press that fucking said that you auditioned for Judas Priest. You didn't. All right, mate, I'm behind you all the way. Definitely. So, Battalions 8, let's get back to that. Mid-paced song. their debut album was actually really heavy. It was probably one of the heaviest albums they've done. It was pretty full-on metal from beginning to end. Like now, they sort of mix it up a little bit more with their epic-y, slower stuff. But this album was just like metal in your face, fucking from beginning to end. It's mad. But, you know, I think it was if you look at a debut album, some bands produced, when they're, you know, just finding their feet on their debuts, they fucking hit it really hard on this. Brilliant production for a debut album, and musicianship goes, you know, without a doubt. And Ralph Sheepers, he's got an excellent voice. If you're listening, Ralph, I think you're absolutely brilliant, mate. All right, that's my number 3. My number 2. Now, I could have chosen any track off of this album because from beginning to end, it's class. It's absolute class. I think it was my top album of 98, but it didn't quite make the top tracks because I've got another one for that. So, and it's Bruce Dickinson, and I chose Jerusalem. And now, like I said, I could have chosen anything off of Chemical Wedding, anything, any track. But this one, I don't know. I love the lyrics. It's just one of those classic sort of Bruce songs, you know. It's fucking brilliant. This album was outstanding. I think Adrian Smith played on here as well, which sort of topped it off. What an amazing album. What an amazing song on an album full of fucking classic songs. So brilliant. Bruce Dickinson, my number 2. And my number 1 goes to Iced Earth. And I chose Melancholy, Holy Martyr off of Something Wicked This Way Comes. From this point onwards, Iced Earth really impressed me. From here, their albums were just fucking fantastic. Melancholy is one of them ones I like from Iced Earth again. It slows it down. It's really melodic. It's really catchy, but they've got a certain way of songwriting. It's absolutely brilliant. I love Iced Earth now. And it wasn't a band that I've loved all my time, you know, since they came out. I think I might have started listening to Iced Earth properly, and I've said this before. I got their the album, the one with Tim Ripper Owens on it, the first one with Gettysburg on it. Fucking, why does it escape me when I'm trying to think of shit? I got that album, and then I didn't listen to any other Iced Earth stuff. You know, I just didn't. But then later on in my life, probably about only a couple of years ago, I reckon, I really started getting into Iced Earth and listening to all their albums, and really, really impressed. Really impressed. Glorious Burden. See? I might be an old senile old fucker, but I remember Glorious Burden was the album. But let's get on to this track. Yeah, brilliant track, this. And I'm really impressed by Iced Earth. I think they mix it up really well on an album. They give you a few epic tracks. They give you some fast tracks, some thrashy tracks. I love them. I think they're brilliant. Underrated band, definitely. That's it. That wraps up my 1998. Going to go out on the 1998 probably tomorrow. So yeah, if you've got any sort of like suggestions what I might like for 99, I already have got a couple actually that recently have been suggested to me, and they will probably make my list. So you probably know who that guy is. You probably know that what I'm talking about. So that's the end of 1998. Thank you very much.